you one of these at Leslie's. This is just a standard flat vac or vacuum hose vac. So we're going to take that, put it on your pole. You take your pole and you'll slide this on there. You're going to hook your vacuum to it. So you need one of these, at least minimum of 25. I would get a 35 to 40 foot, go across most pools. This one here I think is a 30 foot. Swivel end is the end you want on the vacuum. The one that doesn't swivel is not the one you put on the end. You want to take your hose and hold on to it. You're going to run this hose straight down as you go. So you want to run the hose down in the water, just like this. Until you get water coming out, just like that. When you got the water coming out, you're going to put it through the mouth of the skimmer. And in every skimmer, there's two holes. So the front hole doesn't do anything. In this one, it's actually capped. It's always going to be the rear hole 90% of the time. So you put this into the rear hole. Now what you're going to do is you can take a tennis ball and put in the other skimmer. Most pools have two skimmers. If yours only has one, then you don't got to worry about this. But if you have a regular modern pool, you'll have two skimmers. We put a tennis ball on that side, which will divert more over here. In this pool, we're going to do a little bit different. So we're going to actually move the valves. So most pools have two skimmer valves and a main drain valve. So in this pool, as you can see right here, we have a main drain valve and the other skimmer, and this is the one that we're using. So we diverted most of it here. We close these two off so we can divert most of our suction here. So now that we're up and running and we're ready to vacuum, let's double check and make sure that we're getting plenty of vacuum. So the way you check your vacuum is you'll come back down here now that you've got either your tennis ball or your valve shut, and just feel right here and you'll feel we got a lot of good vacuum. It's really sucking pretty good on there. And you take this and you start to vacuum. And it will just suck it up just like a vacuum cleaner at home. The one thing you do not want to do with a flat vacuum or a suction vacuum like this through the skimmer is vacuum up a big ball of leaves. What you will do doing that is you will clog up your plumbing, and it will in fact need a service person to unclog it because it will be permanently clogged. Vacuuming up one or two little leaves here and there, not a big deal, as long as they're not magnolia leaves or big pine needles. Stay away from pine needles and magnolia leaves. Never ever vacuum those up. So if you got little leaves, one or two little leaves here and there, but if you got a really leafy pool, you either need to use a professional vacuum or you need to get yourself, you can get them at Leslie's, it's called a Leaf Master. It will pick up loads and loads of leaves. Now you might be asking, this has a Polaris in the pool, why are we flat vacuuming, why hasn't Polaris picked up all these leaves? Well, this Polaris doesn't work. So what we will be doing is we'll be making a work order. I want you to be able to see, you see how it's vacuuming all the sand up. Really nice. You don't want to go real fast, you just go very slow with it. Take your time. You can see I'm not trying to pick up a bag full of leaves or anything. You just take your time, go very slow. The faster you go, the less it's going to pick up. The slower you go, the better your vacuum is going to vacuum. Remember, we're trying to vacuum dirt that's in water. So this is not like it's on carpet and dry and easy to vacuum. So back to why this one's not working. This one just doesn't work for whatever reason. So we are going to be making a work order for the client. We'll let them know they probably need a new cleaner, and that's what's caused part of this problem. So they may or may not know that the cleaner is not working. So if you are a homeowner and your pool has constantly got sand in it, you may or may not have a very good vacuum, or Polaris, who may not have one at all and may need to install an auto cleaner. If you do have a Polaris and it's doing this, you may have a cleaner that's not suited for your particular environment. Not one cleaner is perfect for each environment. And where I get that, some Polarises are good for sand and silt, some creepy crawlies and stuff like that, suction cleaners, are good for sand and silt but not leaves. What you really need is a cleaner that will handle sand and silt really need a cleaner that'll handle sand and silt and will also handle leaves. So for this particular pool, we're going to recommend that it gets a Polaris Quattro. If you haven't seen the Quattro, just look up on YouTube Polaris Quattro, you'll see it. It's a 4-wheel unit by Polaris. It has really, really good feedback. We've put in more than 300 of them, and we've had a really good success with them. They do have a couple of wear parts, just like any other cleaner, but there's no Velcro bag to deal with, and it doesn't burn up the tires real bad. And there's no backup valve. So when you guys get done vacuuming, what you'll do is pull the vacuum up on the deck. It'll empty the hose out of water. You pull it out of the skimmer. Make sure you take the tennis ball out of your skimmer or return your valves back to open that you had closed, and that's the end of your vacuum. Just remember, do not vacuum up a bunch of leaves, and happy swimming.